Imagine a future where Earth is slowly dying. Massive dust storms are happening everywhere. Crops have stopped growing and humanity doesn't have much time left. In this world lives our main character, Cooper. Cooper used to be a NASA pilot, but now he works as a farmer. The reason is simple. In this time, humanity doesn't need pilots anymore, it needs farmers. People are fighting hunger because crops have almost completely stopped growing. Cooper lives with his two children, Tom and Murphy. Murphy, who everyone calls Murph, is a very intelligent girl and she is extremely close to her father. Tom, on the other hand, is a normal boy who helps with farming. One day, Murph tells Cooper that there is a ghost in her room. Books keep falling from the shelf by themselves, and the dust on the floor creates strange patterns. At first, Cooper thinks Murph is just imagining things. One day, while they go out to watch a match, a huge dust storm suddenly arrives. But storms like this have become very normal in this world, so they return home in their car. When they reach home, Cooper notices that the entire house is filled with dust. But when they enter Murph's room, they see something strange. The dust on the floor has formed perfect lines and patterns. Murph tells Cooper, "See, I told you there's a ghost." But when Cooper studies the patterns carefully, he realizes something surprising. These patterns are actually a message. He spends the entire night trying to understand the lines. In the morning, Murph comes into the room and asks him what he has been doing all night. Cooper explains that the books didn't fall because of a ghost. They fell because of gravity. To demonstrate, he throws a coin in the air. Instead of falling randomly, the coin lands exactly along one of the dust lines. That's when Cooper realizes something incredible. The patterns in the dust are actually coordinates. He follows those coordinates and eventually reaches a secret location. There he discovers something shocking. NASA was never truly shut down. It has been secretly operating underground. Here Cooper meets Professor Brand, who explains the terrifying truth. Earth is dying very quickly. Crops are disappearing one by one, and in the future, even the oxygen levels will start decreasing. But there is still one hope. Near Saturn, scientists have discovered a mysterious wormhole in space. This wormhole works like a shortcut that leads to another galaxy. NASA had already sent astronauts through this wormhole in missions called the Lazarus missions to explore potentially habitable planets. 3 of those planets sent back positive signals. Now NASA wants to launch one final mission to explore those planets and find a new home for humanity. Professor Brand asks Cooper to become the pilot of this mission. But accepting this mission means leaving his children behind and traveling deep into space. Murph becomes extremely upset and feels betrayed by Cooper for leaving her. Even so, Cooper accepts the mission because he believes this is humanity's only chance of survival. Cooper and his team board a spacecraft called Endurance and travel to Saturn. From there, they enter the wormhole. Inside the wormhole, space and time begin to bend in strange ways. But within moments, they emerge in another galaxy. In that galaxy, they find a massive black hole called Gargantua. The gravity of this black hole is so powerful that it creates time dilation, meaning that time moves differently there. 1 hour near the black hole could equal many years on Earth. The team first lands on Miller's planet, which is completely covered in shallow water and constantly hit by gigantic waves. After barely escaping the waves and returning to their spacecraft, they discover something shocking. Because of time dilation, 23 years have already passed on Earth. Cooper watches video messages from his son Tom, who has now grown into an adult, gotten married, and even has a child of his own. Cooper realizes he has become a grandfather while he hasn't aged much at all. Murph, however, only sends one message, and that too on her birthday. She is still angry at Cooper for leaving. This moment becomes extremely emotional for Cooper. The mission continues, and the team travels to the planet of Dr. Munn, one of the Lazarus astronauts who was considered the best explorer. But when they wake him up, a shocking truth is revealed. His planet is not habitable at all. Dr. Munn had sent false data because he was terrified of dying alone. The situation becomes even more dangerous, and the Endurance spacecraft gets badly damaged. At this point, Cooper makes a risky and heroic decision. He decides to fall into the black hole Gargantua so that Amelia Brand can escape and reach the final planet. Inside the black hole, Cooper enters a strange multi-dimensional space where he can see different moments of time inside Murph's room, and suddenly he realizes the truth. The ghost in Murph's room was actually himself. Using gravity, Cooper sends messages to Murph across time. These messages allow Murph to finally solve the gravity equation, which scientists on Earth were unable to complete. Because of Murph's discovery, humans are able to build giant space stations and escape Earth, ensuring the survival of humanity. Many years later, Cooper wakes up on one of those space stations and finally reunites with a Murph, who is now an old woman. Murph tells him that Amelia Brand is still alive and is building humanity's future on a new planet. The movie ends with Cooper stealing a spacecraft and heading back into space to find Amelia. And that's where the incredible story of Interstellar comes to an end. If you enjoyed this movie explanation and want more amazing movie stories like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel because the next movie is going to be even more exciting.